Greetings, everybody, and welcome to the Medium channel where we bring you the spirituality behind the message. And today it's yoga time. And so we have, I was going to call you Doreen Virtue. Wait a second. Wrong Doreen.
Great.
We have Doreen, the founder of the Children's School of Yoga, with us. And, I had my awakening. It was in 1978. I didn't know anything about spirituality really. And one of the first practices I got into was yoga, thank goodness. So, and then around 2008, I started getting into Kundalini yoga and I got really deep into it. So, yoga's been such a beneficial practice to me. And now we're living in these times where the energy just keeps changing and upgrading, and it puts a lot of stress on our cells, our nervous system, as well as all the stuff going on in the world that we really, really need to practice. So when I released my actually two different videos about Ascension breath work that Spirit gave me, Doreen was kind enough to reach out and say, hey, if you want me to do some yoga on the channel and help the community out, I'd be happy to do that. So of course I took her up on it. So without further ado, let me introduce Doreen, who's going to take us through a beautiful series of, breath and asana practice and a few other things. So welcome and thank you, Doreen.
Namaste. I'm so happy to be here. And for those of friends that are not yogis, namaste is just how we say hello and goodbye in yoga. It means the goodness in me or the light in me sees the light in you. And so for all of you out there, I welcome today. I just want to fix this a minute so we can just, didn't realize how far it was. There we go. That's better. Sorry, Adam. Okay, I thought we had everything all set before we started. Sorry about that. So today we're going to start out with some sitting poses first. If you have a yoga mat, you can sit on your yoga mat. If you don't and you prefer to sit at a chair, you are welcome to sit on a chair to do it. The first things we're going to do are going to help us to get grounded in order to ascend. So if we're not grounded, meaning connected to the earth, we're going to have a really hard time ascending and raising our energy up because it'll be all over the place. And so I highly suggest take off your socks and shoes if you can, because when you have your bare feet in yoga, it helps you to connect more to Mother Earth and to ground. We're electrical, just like electrical currents in your house. Electrical currents are grounded. We need to get grounded. So we do that by having our socks and shoes off. So the very first place we're going to start is actually with our head and neck. And the reason I want to start there is most of us today are constantly on one of these. And we're usually looking down when we're on our cell phones. The problem with that is, how can we ascend our energy up if our head and neck is always looking down? It messes up your alignment. So in order to raise our energy up through our spine and in our backs, we have to work on our alignment. So we're going to start off first by doing head and neck rolls, they're called. And you're simply going to have your head rotating back and then rotating forward. But as you're doing that, you need to add a yoga breath. And that yoga breath is simply inhaling through your nose as your head and neck drops back, and exhaling through your nose as your head and neck comes forward. And again, you're going to inhale as your head and neck drops back, and exhale as your head and neck drops forward. You don't want to go too fast. You're probably hearing a lot of crunching and things going on. And we're going to come back to center, and we're going to go the opposite way with your head and neck dropping back, inhaling. As you come forward, you're exhaling. Head and neck dropping back, inhaling. As you come forward, exhale. I'll let you do one or two more of those on your own without my prompts. And then once you've done one or two more, you're going to come back to center. And one of the things that's really important when you're in any sitting poses, whether it's the chair or the floor, is the alignment of your back. Many of us, again, either from cell phones or working on computers all day, we're very hunched. You want to straighten your spine as best you can, and just be aware of straightening your spine, because your spine is where that electrical current goes through. And so when that spine has blockages, that's when we'll have trouble ascending our energy. And so now that we did the head and neck rolls, you're going to interlace your fingers, place them behind your head, just at the top, and you're going to gently pull your chin to your chest. Very gently, and hold it there as you softly breathe in and breathe out. Inhaling and exhaling. And if you can't get your chin to touch your chest, that's okay. Just bring it down until you feel gentle pulling in your spine or back. If you feel electrical type pain in your spine or back, stop wherever you are and don't go any further. So again, we're going to gently pull our head and neck down. Then we're going to gently raise it, and one more. Gently pull your head and neck down, and then gently raise it. Now, we're going to take one of our hands and touch the top of our opposite ear. No, you can't see it with my hair, but I'm touching the top of my opposite ear. And then we're going to gently pull the other ear towards my same side shoulder till you feel that pull down the side. Continuing to keep your spine as straight as you can keep it. And then you're going to release. You're going to do the same thing on the other side. Gently pulling down, inhaling and exhaling, always breathing with your pose. It helps you get deeper into that. And then you are going to release. And now that we've worked on our head and neck, we should have helped that throat chakra energy, all that energy right up here and that energy up here, help to release any blockages for the moment. We're going to come right here. Adam talks a lot about the heart and the heart breath. Our heart needs to be lifted up when we are doing yoga. So imagine lifting your heart up, all the way up for a moment, as you're thinking about those things you have gratitude for, appreciation for, and love. And I like to add a hand mudra. Mudras are when you use your hands in yoga. It's called a mudra. We're going to put it right in front of our heart. And what I want you to do for a moment is I want you to take your breath, breathing love and abundance into your heart. As you breathe that in, I want you to hold it there for a moment, filling your heart up. And then I want you to release it out, right out through that heart mudra. And again, inhaling nice and deeply into your heart. Now think of things you're grateful for. It could be anything you're grateful for, even the meal that you ate today. And then we're going to release it. If doing this hand mudra is difficult for you, you can just put your hands over your heart. Generally, your left hand first to your heart, and then your right hand over your heart, because your left hand is the closest one to your heart. And then one more, but this time, as we breathe in appreciation, gratitude, and love, I want you to exhale it out to someone you know who needs it. We all know somebody who's hurting and might need some gratitude, appreciation, and love. So breathe that in right now. You can close your eyes if you'd like, as you picture them and imagine them as you exhale, that it is going their way and surrounding them. Very good. Okay, if you're sitting like me, cross-legged or easy pose, you can switch your leg in the front now, because we always sit the same way. We get so used to sitting the same way, and that also knocks our alignment off and knocks us out of balance. Yoga is all about balance. Next thing we're going to do are things that will help to release any more blockages that might be in our skeletal system or our spine. And we're going to do some easy twists. And all you're going to do is put an opposite hand on an opposite knee, and the other hand's going to go behind the small of your back as you twist back, looking over your shoulder, and hold yourself there. If you're in a chair, you can do this twist in a chair with your feet flat on the ground, holding the back side of the chair. Inhaling, exhaling, 3 breaths as we look back. And then we're going to gently come forward, release. And then you're going to put the opposite hand on the opposite knee, your other hand behind the small of your back. You're going to twist, look over your shoulder, or if you're in that chair, you can hold on to the back of your chair. Inhale, exhale, 3 breaths, twisting gently, looking behind you. And after you have done your 3 breaths, you're going to come back to forward. Very good. I hope you can feel your body and your electrical system starting to really feel good now. Now in your floor pose, we're going to put our feet together. But many friends that are newbies to yoga cannot sit in butterfly pose. They don't have the flexibility I do after years of yoga. I've been doing yoga now for 25 years, just about. I think it's 23 or 4.5. Anyway, you can use props. You might not have yoga props, but you can use pillows. You can use anything. Books can go underneath to help prop you up if your legs, knees won't go down as far. So you don't ever have to compare your pose to somebody else in yoga. It's just wherever you're at. The butterfly pose helps to open up our neck chakras, our root chakras down here. All of our grounding chakras are down here, down below the waist. And those are very important chakras to connect you to the earth so that we can raise our energy up. We need to feel safe in order to raise our energy up. So this butterfly pose helps to open up your hips. It helps your joints, your knees. It helps any blockages in this area. And we're simply going to slowly come forward as far as you comfortably can. And when you've gone as far as you comfortably can, you can either put your hands forward and let your head come down, or you can hold on to your feet and let your head come down. Now, for those of you that can't come very far, you can also use that book. If you have a book, I have a yoga block, and just rest your head on it for our beginners. I don't recommend trying to do butterfly in a chair unless you're very, very limber and flexible. Somebody like myself, I can do it in a chair, but I don't recommend it for a newbie. I don't want you falling out of your chair. So you could bring just half of your butterfly up, which we're going to do next. But one more time, we're going to come forward. Let your head come down as far as it will let you. Breathe. Always breathe. We have a tendency in our bodies when we're doing something difficult that stresses our body, instead of breathing through it, we tighten up and we don't breathe and we hold our breath. So it's very important in yoga to breathe through any pose. Okay, I'm going to do what's called half butterfly now, which you can do in a chair if you're sitting. One leg is straight, one is bent. In the half butterfly, you want to come try to reach your toes or feet. If you can't, oh, I forgot to bring out a belt. You can wrap a belt around your foot and just hold on to it to bring you down. And this is another one where it doesn't matter how far you can go down. You're going to feel this stretch in your calf muscles and your hamstrings, and the whole leg now leading up to your tailbone is getting stretched really good. So important from your feet down, because that's what's going to ground us soon when we do standing poses. Okay, so one more time, come forward as far as you can, breathing in, breathing out. For many of us that are yogis who might be doing this, I know your head can touch your knee. That's beautiful. For those of you that can't, if all you can do is just sit and put your head down, that is where you're meant to be in the pose. We're going to switch sides. We're going to put our other half butterfly leg or wing, I like to call it wings, stretched out. And then we're going to come down on that side, inhaling, exhaling, breathing in, breathing out, holding that for a moment, coming back up. One more time. As you come down, breathing in, breathing out. I believe Adam did this pose a week or two ago when he was showing poses that his guides and angels were sharing with him. So this is a great pose apparently coming from spirit for us to do. Now, put both legs in front of you. It's known as staff pose. But this pose, and anytime you're bending forward, from our butterfly we just did to staff pose coming forward, this helps calm your nervous system. And many, many, many of us, our nervous systems are shot in today's world. So when you're coming forward and bending forward, it helps to calm your nervous system. This is a very more challenging pose because of how stiff some of us might be in our legs and our calves and our hamstrings. But do the best you can. You can use a belt around your feet, coming forward, head down, breathing in and breathing out. Also in a chair, your feet can be down flat on the floor in a chair, and you can lean forward as long as you don't get dizzy. And then you can all come back up. Okay, I want to do one more sitting pose before we all do a chant together. And this pose, and then we'll rise, is called the waves pose. The waves pose is a little more difficult for me to explain and describe, so I'm just showing you. Your feet are flat. You're kind of hip distance or more than hip distance apart. You're going to almost do like windshield wipers while your hands are behind you. I don't think you can do this one sitting in a chair if you're still in a chair watching, but on the floor, this is a great one to help stretch your thighs, help stretch your hips big time. I'm going to show you the more advanced version. You may not want to do the more advanced version. The more advanced version is to lay on your back and do it. And notice the difference if you prefer doing it on your back or if you prefer doing it sitting up. I personally prefer doing it sitting up than on my back, but many of my, I call them yoga friends, they prefer doing it laying back. So whichever you prefer is totally fine. All right, I'm going to come back to sitting, and however comfortable it is for you to sit, you sit. It might not be an easy pose like I am, it's called, or cross-legged sitting pose. You might be more comfortable with the legs stretched out, or however. Actually, I even brought my poop. A lot of times, some yoga friends, they need to sit on a cushion. If you need to sit on a cushion too, that's totally fine, or a blanket. I wanted to introduce a chant for today's class. And in yoga, of course, we use chants to help us to connect mind, body, and soul. I thought of a perfect one that is out there called Satanama, and I'm going to teach you how to do it. Satanama has to do basically with what the world is going through right now, and especially the United States. You're going to just use your fingertips. And you're going to start out with your first two fingertips, your thumb and your pointer. And when you touch those two together, you're simply going to chant with me, Sa. Then you're going to switch to your, I call it the middle finger, and your thumb. And the next one is Ta. Ring finger, thumb, Na. Pinky and thumb, Ma. So we're going to do 3 times for each chant, but here's the meaning. This I thought was so dead on. Sa is about birth, the infinite birth, the creation of birth, the birth maybe or rebirth of a country. Ta is your life. Or anyone's life or anything's life. Na is actually about you leaving, or the death of a country, or the death of a world, or of the way of things are or how they were. And ma is rebirth, remembering. I thought, wow, we have to do this chant. So we're going to do it all together. And my way of chanting is more singing. Your way of chanting would be speaking. Don't mind me for this part. You can repeat and chant and sing or speak along with me 3 times for each one. It goes soft, it goes louder, it goes soft, it goes quiet, and it kind of ebbs and flows, just like we are going to do in this class. We're going to go up, we're going to go down. Our energy is going to go up, it's going to go down. It's going to be grounded, it's going to ascend. So let's start out all together. Ready? Here we go. Satanama, 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 Now silently. Now softly. Sa, ta, na, ma, sa, ta, na, ma. Now chanting Satanama, Satanama. Last one. Satanama. Om. The sound of all creation is Om. They say if you put all the sounds together, it's Om. It's what it supposedly sounded like when God created the earth or the universe or whoever, creator, earth was created. So we're going to rise now. I hope you enjoyed that. When you rise, if you're able to, we're going to try to rise up without our hands. Rise up, creating that number 11 you sometimes hear Adam and Sharita talking about a lot on their channel. 11, about expansion, reaching all the way up. Now in yoga, we call this pose mountain pose. And it is one of the best poses to ground and get grounded and connected to Mother Earth. It's okay that you're not outside. I know you have a lot of snow in the Northeast. I'm here in North Carolina where we really don't have snow on the ground, just a little bit left over, but ground your feet to the earth. Imagine your feet are roots that are going down deep, deep, deep into the earth. For those of you that may use crystals, you can imagine your feet and those roots going down and grabbing hold of a giant crystal in the core of the earth. But for those of us that understand more about trees and living things and earth, let's just be the roots. And we're going to stand for a moment, but close your eyes in mountain pose. Imagine what that feels like to be a strong, connected mountain to this earth. Right now you might be covered in a foot or two of snow, but you're still a strong mountain, not going anywhere. And now we're going to add a breath. You can open your eyes. We're going to bring our hands up overhead. We're going to breathe into the sun. And then we're going to exhale to the moon, the beautiful moon, the moon of our emotions. Our emotional body is the moon. And again, let's breathe into that male energy of the sun, inhaling to the sun, looking up, exhaling to the moon. Now, after we've done that twice, I want to reverse it. Breathing into the sun, going up with our arms up instead. Exhaling to the moon, coming in front of your heart space. Again, breathing into the sun, getting all that energy, that radiance from the sun. exhaling to the moon. I believe this was another one Adam introduced a week or two ago. That was one given to him from Spirit to share with us, or his guides. And that breath is actually called the sun moon breath. So I thought it was perfect to introduce to you today and use with you, or reintroduce you. So now we're going to do one where if you have any bent up energy, aggravating day, need to get some stuff out. Don't we all have those sometimes? We're going to bring that energy all the way up, inhaling, and then we're going to strike it down to the earth, exhaling. Again, you're going to breathe that energy in all the way up, and then you're going to exhaling down to the earth. Now, if you can reach the ground, even better. You can pound the ground. You can use your fist if you want to. I like to make the shape of an axe or a wood chopper. This is actually called the wood chopper pose. And so I find this to be a great way to release anything that might have been a little bit negative. Because in order to ascend, you have to get rid of that negativity. You cannot ascend with that negativity if you're holding on to it. Okay, so we have to release it and let it go. Okay, so let's switch it up now. I'm going to show you the triangle pose. Triangle pose is great, again, for opening up the hips, for your back alignment, for lengthening. And if we want to ascend way up there, we have to lengthen. So you want to have one leg straight like that, and one leg straight like that. And if possible, imagine drawing a line from your heel in the front leg to the arch of your back foot. Okay, here we go. We're going to bring one hand for the front leg down in front of that front foot, and the other way up high like you're waving, hello. We can't see you. We can't hear you, but we know you're there. One of my favorite lines in City of Angels years ago. All right, try one more time. Now, if you can't reach the floor, that is when you can use one of your books or a block to help you. Look up at the ceiling as you're doing this. Now, if you are more advanced, which many of you might be, you can do a triangle twist. I didn't really want to introduce that to anybody who might be a newbie because I don't want you to fall over. But a twist really quick I'll show you is alternating your hand going down, other hand going up. Only do that if you're more advanced. What we're going to do is switch sides. I'm going to rotate that foot. I'm going to rotate that foot. And then we're going to come down onto the other side, lengthening, stretching. Ooh, you might hear some crinkles going on in your back or hips now. Coming up. Also, I forgot to show you the reverse. My bad. On the back side when you come up. And for those of you that need to use a book or a block, you can come down holding your block, lengthening, stretching. For my friends more advanced, once more, you can do your twist in your triangle. But again, anybody new, I really don't want you to be falling over. I want you to have a good experience if it's your first time doing yoga with us. Now, I want to get our blood and circulation going to help that electrical current in your body. Let's get that blood moving. By now, it should already be moving, but if it's not, we're going to give it a little bit of help. All you want to do is make some gentle fists, and you want to start gently pounding from your feet, up your legs, up your belly and chest, up your head to the back side, coming down your leg all the way down, and repeating from your front, from your feet, coming all the way up, down the back side. Now, if you feel like you need to do that to your arms, you can do that to your arms and or your face. But that is a great way to wake up your body. It's a great thing to do in the morning, actually, to get everything flowing, especially if you're not a coffee or tea drinker like myself. I don't like either one. So that helps to get everything going in the morning for you. Now, we're going to slowly come back down. If you sat in a chair, you can get back into your chair now. We're going to slowly lower yourself back down. Okay, great. Some of the things that we do in yoga, besides the traditional poses and breaths, are we sometimes introduce the history of mala beads, which you may have mala beads of all shapes and sizes, or you may like to use crystals. I know this was mentioned even today on Adam's call. I was so happy to see my favorite crystal shop was mentioned today. So when you introduce these type of modalities in with your yoga, it's usually generally when you're doing a meditation in classes, or as we're going to go from a meditation, we're going to then go down into sleep resting pose called Shavasana. It's yoga sleep. So it is up to you if you want to lay down for this part, or if you prefer to sit up comfortably and close your eyes. If you need to get grounded, if you need to feel more connected to the earth, if you feel like your head is in the clouds, those of us that do a lot of spiritual work, sometimes our head is way up in the clouds and we need to bring it back down to ground it. And that is when you use more of your darker crystals, your black crystals, your brown crystals. You'll hold one of those. If you want to connect to the heart, my favorite, I love hearts. Use rose quartz is a great one to connect to the heart. I have a very big heart rose quartz. That will connect you to your heart. Anything that's going on in your love life, family's life, sending out love, needing to receive love, you would use that. If you want to help develop your intuition, these are my favorite and my birthstone, amethyst. You might want to hold an amethyst. You might want to place it near your head if you're laying down. I also have angelite for your highest level to reach Adam's level of spirituality. He's so gifted, and we're so lucky to have him to teach us and to share with us. And so the next part I'm going to do with you is the final stage of this yoga class tonight. And I call it a chime meditation. And sometimes we need the help of chimes and sound and visuals just to get us to relax. So if gratitude is not enough for you to be your anchor to ground you, and the rising of the ascension that we worked on today to help us rise above the negativity and above the darkness, maybe the chime meditation will help you completely relax for just the next few moments. So close your eyes, lay down if you can, or sit comfortably and just listen to the sound of the chime. And I will tell you a part of your body to relax at the same time. So here we go. Relax your toes, relaxing your big toe, all the way down to your little toes. Relax your ankles and the heels of your feet, and most importantly, the soles of your feet that walk this earth every day. Relax your lower legs, your calf muscles, your shins, feeling your muscles sink into the ground if you're laying down on the floor. Relax your knees. Let your knees be soft. Feel that space behind your knee, nice and open. Relax your thighs and your hamstrings and breathe. Breathe in and breathe out. Relax your hips and your buttocks, letting your buttocks sink into your mats, into the floor, into your chair if you're sitting or cushion. Letting your hips feel open, nice space. Relax your lower back and imagine your lower back is the rung of a ladder. Now we're just getting onto that ladder. We're gently climbing that ladder to the middle of your back, to the top of your back. When you get to the top of your back, that might be very tight. Release. Let the back of your shoulders sink into your mat. Relax your arms down to your elbows. Relax your elbows down to your wrists. Relax your hands and each finger. Opening your hands if you're laying down or even sitting, having the palms of your hands facing up, open to be a vessel to receive good energy, good things to come your way. Relax your head, resting the back of your head on the floor or on your mat or against the back of your chair. Relax your ears, your face, your mouth. Open your mouth softly, feeling your tongue relax, your teeth relax, even the back of your throat relax. Relax your forehead to the top of your head and into your hair. As your hair falls back, unless you don't have any, that's okay too. Letting your whole body relax from head to toe, from top to bottom, from the ground up, for your ascension, for your grounding. Namaste. Have a great yoga day. When you're ready to rise, you can softly push yourself up, or you can open your eyes.
Namaste, and thank you.
You're very welcome, Adam. It was my pleasure.
That was great. And of course, I was here on my little yoga mat. You can't see it, doing the postures, and I can clearly see how you teach children.
Yeah,
So,
I love
that's
children.
awesome. Yeah, very easy to follow. Very kind of upbeat, very good high energy. Hey, and I love the Satanama. That's something we do in
Yes,
Kundalini yoga. Yeah, we do it exactly the way that you did it.
yes. I learned it actually taking Kundalini yoga for years too. Yes, it's
I
a great
figured as much, yeah, because you're doing it exactly the same way. Of course, you abbreviated it, so I just kind
I
of
did.
wrote on the little text here. If you like that, try doing each step for maybe 3 minutes. That gives you like a
Oh
nice
yeah.
long round of meditation. So, you know, your satanama, then silently, and then silently again, then whisper, and then back to sound. At least that's how I learned it, anyways.
That is how I learned it too. I did abbreviate it for time to get everything in that I wanted to share. But you're absolutely right. And you know what I love is that if somebody liked different parts of it, they can go and learn more in a Kundalini class, specifically, or different ones. But I so appreciate the opportunity to share yoga and if you decide you want a more advanced, happy to do that too. But I loved sharing with everyone tonight.
Much appreciated. So you guys can come back and do this class over again. I mean, this definitely tailored to, more beginners, I guess. But no matter what level you're at, I always appreciate a little like beginner set. Also, it's always good to go back to those basics. Absolutely, yeah. So excellent work. So thank you, and thank you everybody that was here. And like I said, this will upload as a video on the channel. Doreen has a YouTube channel, the Children's School of Yoga, and I think you said you upload every week, right? Different.
I do, and we post every day on Instagram and Facebook,
You can
and
find on Instagram and Facebook too. Yeah.
yep. And our website has our online virtual classes are listed on our website. So, yeah, thank you once again. This was lovely.
All right, thank you. So I guess we'll say goodnight and let everybody relax, assimilate their yoga experience, and then do whatever you're going to do this evening.
Thank you, Adam. Satnam. Namaste.
Thank you. Namaste. So we're going to end the broadcast.